When Cole Dawson and his wife Elena moved to Briarwood Glen, they imagined peace. A charming suburban neighborhood, lined with dogwood trees and idyllic homes, seemed like the perfect place to finally breathe. Cole, a remote-working cybersecurity consultant, was ready for the quiet life. Elena, officially listed as a logistics specialist with the U.S. Army, was anything but typical. Only a handful of trusted friends knew her real position: an elite operator in Delta Force. Her work was top secret, her missions classified, and her skill set lethal. Years of navigating her dangerous, high-stakes world alongside his more grounded profession had taught them to adapt, to compartmentalize. Moving to Briarwood Glen was supposed to be their fresh start, their shot at normalcy. On the surface, the neighborhood delivered manicured lawns, cul-de-sacs filled with laughing kids, weekend barbecues, and an active HOA that sent out cheerful newsletters about potlucks and block parties. But beneath the white picket fences and sugar-sweet smiles, tensions festered, tensions with a name. Meredith Collier, or as most neighbors whispered behind closed doors, Karen, mid-50s, sharp bob haircut, pastel sweaters, and a clipboard surgically attached to her hand. Meredith wasn't technically the HOA president, but she might as well have been. She patrolled the streets daily, citing homeowners for untrimmed hedges or garden gnomes she considered visual pollution. Cole and Elena met her during a walk one breezy May afternoon. Meredith was mid-scold, berating a young father whose toddler had left a tricycle on the lawn. "It's a tripping hazard," she barked, scribbling something furiously onto her clipboard. Elena gave a tight smile. Cole just nodded and kept walking. Neither said a word, but both knew they'd be seeing more of Meredith. Within weeks, a glossy HOA newsletter showed up in their mailbox. It contained a suspiciously long list of regulations: paint colors, curtain types, exact durations for holiday lighting displays. Elena chuckled at some of the more absurd ones, but Cole frowned. "Standard HOA stuff," he muttered. "Annoying, but manageable." That was before Meredith started targeting them. It started with the hedges. One crisp morning, Cole was trimming the boxwoods while Elena went for a run. Mrs. Ellison, their elderly neighbor, was watering her roses when Meredith appeared like a specter. "There's a rule about hedge height," she announced without a greeting, tapping her pen against the fence. "Must be precisely between 4 and 4.5 feet. Yours is creeping over. I'm letting it slide for now." Cole, polite but firm, replied, "I reviewed the handbook. It said neatly maintained. I didn't see anything about exact height." "I have the updated guidelines," Meredith snapped, pulling a crumpled sheet from her clipboard. "Page 4, subsection B.3. She flashed him a tight smile, then turned and marched off. Mrs. Ellison gave Cole a pitying look. "She's a menace," she whispered. "Acts like she owns the place." That day set the tone. Meredith would pop up with citations for mailbox paint, lawn ornaments, or improperly parked bicycles. Each time, she waved updated documents that no one else had ever seen. Things came to a head when a polite letter demanded the removal of a small stone lion statue near their walkway, a gift from Elena's grandmother. "Violation of aesthetic uniformity," the letter claimed. Cole went to the next HOA meeting to get clarity. Meredith dominated the room, flipping through documents and citing obscure clauses. When Cole asked for the specific rule banning statues, she replied, "Some items are grandfathered in. Yours isn't. We're trying to maintain a standard." But the HOA president, Howard Langston, looked baffled. "That's not in the bylaws," he said. "Decorative items are permitted as long as they're not obtrusive." After the meeting, Elena scoffed, "She's making up her own rulebook." Cole just laughed. "She's the HOA's final boss." But things got serious when Meredith's nosiness turned into something darker. She noticed Elena's comings and goings, early mornings, days away, athletic build. Questions followed. "Which branch are you in, dear? Just logistics? You keep your yard so tidy, must be that military discipline." Elena answered vaguely, offering nothing of substance. But Meredith wasn't satisfied. Gossip swirled. Whispers floated that Elena was a private contractor or worse. Eventually, Meredith confronted a neighbor, Ms. Vargas, in hushed tones. "If someone's bringing military-grade weapons into the neighborhood, we need to know. For insurance reasons." Ms. Vargas rolled her eyes. "She's a soldier, not a threat." But Meredith wasn't deterred. She launched a security initiative titled the HOA Police Neighborhood Watch 2.0. Emails declared the formation of a volunteer safety patrol. We will be trained to respond to suspicious behavior and enforce HOA guidelines. Our mission, to protect Briarwood Glen. Meredith recruited 3 followers. Dan, a heavy-set handyman, Carl, a wiry retiree, and Misty, a 30-something who craved control more than community. Together they donned black polos with HOA police, stitched across the chest, and began patrolling with clipboards. The Real HOA board denounced them immediately. Howard issued a statement. There is no sanctioned HOA police force. If approached, you are not obligated to comply. But Meredith persisted. Her crew issued fake citations, inspected yards, and knocked on doors under the pretense of safety. The final straw came when Dan and Carl showed up at Cole and Elena's doorstep demanding access to their garage. We've had complaints, they said. Potential chemical hazards. Cole blocked the door. You're not getting in. Elena, appearing from around the corner in black workout gear, stepped beside her husband. This is private property, she said. You're not law enforcement. Come back with a warrant or not at all. The men stumbled over themselves, retreating. That night, a note appeared in their mailbox. No return address. Inside was a single sheet. You're being watched. Comply or face consequences. Elena sealed the note in a Ziploc for fingerprints. Police were notified, cameras installed, and watchfulness heightened. Meredith's next move was bolder. She began hosting training in her garage, led by a disgraced private security dropout named Kyle. With vinyl vests, faux badges, and self-printed affidavits, she convinced her group they had quasi-legal authority. Meredith spun a web of lies. Elena was a threat, stockpiling weapons, compromising their safety. Kyle, itching for authority, agreed to lead an enforcement action. One Saturday morning, Elena was making lemonade in the kitchen while Cole grilled burgers out back. A knock came at the door. She opened it to see Meredith, flanked by her squad. Kyle's jacket bulged a concealed weapon. Elena noted instantly. We're here on official HOA police business, Meredith said. You are required to let us inspect your property. You're not officials, Elena replied calmly. You have no right to enter. Kyle stepped forward, producing a fake affidavit with Meredith's signature. We have authorization. Elena scanned it, handed it back. This isn't a warrant. Leave now. Meredith's voice rose. We know you're hiding something. You're endangering our neighborhood. We're calling the police, Cole said, stepping up beside Elena. Kyle's hand twitched and suddenly a gun was out, pointed at Cole's chest. No, you're not, he snarled. Time slowed. Elena's instincts kicked in. She stepped forward, voice even. Kyle, don't do this. Put the gun down. He was sweating, shaking. Finger too close to the trigger. She struck. 1 second, left hand redirected the weapon upward. 2 seconds, right hand twisted his wrist, disarming him. 3 seconds. Knee to chin, Kyle sprawled unconscious. Gasps erupted. Meredith screamed. Carl and Dan froze. Elena knelt, pinning Kyle while shouting, Cole, call 911. Within minutes, sirens wailed through Briarwood Glen. Police swarmed the scene. Guns were drawn. Orders barked. Meredith tried to explain. This was a misunderstanding. But no one listened. Witnesses poured forward, explaining the attack, the threats, the disarm. Kyle was arrested. The others detained. Meredith's basement stash of fake badges and embezzled HOA funds sealed her fate. She was charged with conspiracy, fraud, embezzlement, and criminal trespass. Kyle faced assault with a deadly weapon. Carl and Dan struck plea deals, eager to avoid jail time. Meredith refused, claiming she had the moral high ground. Her public defender all but gave up. Elena testified calmly, never revealing her Delta Force role. I acted to protect my husband, she said. The man pointed a weapon. I neutralized the threat. The jury found Meredith guilty on all counts. Her sentence was harsh years in state prison, restitution, and the forfeiture of her home to cover fines. As she was led away, she glared at Elena one last time. Elena didn't flinch. In the aftermath, Briarwood Glen healed. The HOA restructured, officially banning any future security forces. Neighbors repainted swings, reinstalled lawn ornaments, and slowly reconnected. Cole returned to his work with less stress. Elena resumed her runs. The whispers about her background never fully faded, but they were laced with respect now, not fear. One bright spring day, as children biked past their home, Elena stood in the garden adjusting the stone lion near the walkway, the same one Meredith had once tried to ban. Cole joined her, setting down a tray of lemonade. "Think we'll ever see another Karen?" he joked. Elena smiled. "If we do, I'm ready." And just like that, life in Briarwood Glen, true life, finally began.